Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the I Should Totally Be Dead Right Now podcast, where we tell true stories of survivors of true crime, natural disasters, and everything else in between. There we go.
Fucking nailed it.
I know, right?
Well done.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
yeah, hi, I listened. I was there.
So, what's going on, Michelle?
I'm drinking this delicious drink.
Ooh, let's just jump into it.
I know. Well, this may be the first, we'll see, of a series of taking iconic Disneyland drinks and making them alcoholic.
Taking the happiest place on earth drinks and making it for adults.
That just sounds
go.
right.
Yeah.
Feels right. So this first one is the famous Dole Whip, which we were both talking about. We both make a point of having a Dole Whip anytime we're in Disneyland.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's a famous pineapple soft serve. But so we put together to make a drink. We saw this kick-ass video that we then turned alcoholic. So it's frozen pineapple, canned coconut milk, and then we added a little bit of rum, like that silver rum, and
White Rum.
White rum, excuse me. I think it's either one.
Okay.
I think you can call it.
I thought silver was like for tequila.
Fuck you, Caitlin.
I'm just...
No one, you're probably absolutely right. White rum. and then we added a little whipped rum. No, my God. Whipped vodka.
Whipped vodka.
Whipped vodka. And actually I added a little crushed pineapple too for a little sweetness.
Yeah.
Because it came in heavy syrup. So we whirred it all up into a delightful frothy drink that we are now...
And coconut milk? You say that?
Yeah, canned out of a can. So we used about half a can to 1 bag of frozen pineapple.
Right. And that made a good sized blender worth.
It's probably 4 servings.
Yeah.
It was 2 servings in these cute little pineapple glasses we have.
Yeah, not so little, but
we're making our way through them.
yeah, they're delicious. They are really good.
Yeah.
So you can see that recipe on our Instagram and Facebook. So what's the next Disney drink gonna be? We know, but stay tuned.
You don't, suckers. I hope it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a little bit of an experiment.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to make it up because there's not really a recipe for the drink we want to make.
Right. And I've never had it before, so non-alcoholic either. So.
Dun dun dun.
Woo!
Cliffhanger. So you got a little story to tell us?
I do have a little story. It's about a survivor.
Oh.
That's why we're here.
Big surprise.
Yes. All right. So
what year is this?
This
your
is
story.
1995.
Okay. That was
Yeah.
the year I graduated high school.
Little tidbit there.
Yeah.
So this story is about Kenny Vaughn.
Kenny Vaughn.
And not to be mistaken by the American guitarist from the Fabulous Superlatives. So it's not the same.
Okay, you know what? When I was looking it up, I found, well, I spelled Vaughn wrong in the first place. So I found a race car driver. And I was wondering if that's who you were going to talk about.
Nope.
Then I realized my mistake, and then I found a whole bunch of music videos.
Yes.
When I was looking up. This straw is loud.
That is loud.
We have little metal straws. Sorry about it. I'm going to be obnoxious with it.
Reusable.
Caitlin, yours is like almost full.
Shut.
Yeah, very sustainable, these straws. Good
Yeah,
job,
see,
Caitlin.
we're saving the earth with metal straws. All right. 1995 in North Carolina.
All right.
Kenny is coming home one evening, and he's around 40 years old.
Okay, I was just going to ask.
There's not definitive how old he was, around
Okay.
his 40s.
All right.
So once Kenny got out of his minivan to head inside, someone pulled right behind him in a van as well.
So was he like parked in his driveway?
Yeah, his driveway
okay.
at his house, but someone parked right behind him, so they're in his driveway too.
Oh my God, I'd already be losing my fucking shit. Someone even parks anywhere near the house, and I'm watching them like a hawk with Charlie like just barking away, and poor things.
So the man hops out, and in his hand is a .22 caliber rifle. And Kenny recognizes this man as a former neighbor.
Okay.
Kenny tries to run inside because there's a gun.
Yeah, I kind of know shit. Maybe your fight or flight kicks in.
Exactly. So his was flight, so he
Yeah.
started to run, but he gets shot in his right leg and falls to the ground.
Oh my gosh, not even hesitating.
No.
Good Lord.
The man steps 5 feet away and open fires.
With him on the ground?
With him on the ground, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Kenny tries to crawl under his minivan just to get a break from all the stings he feels from every bullet entering his body. Kenny states, "You're thinking clearer than you ever thought in your life. I don't know if it's the adrenaline or just the will to live. You want to live more than anything in the world, and you know you have no control. I ask the Lord to not hit me in my heart and head."
Aww.
The gunman emptied out the gun and was starting to reload.
Oh my God.
Kenny saw this, was able to pull himself to his feet, and got to the hood of his minivan before he was knocked down again by a shot to the abdomen.
Oh my God.
The gunman, again 5 feet away, unloaded the gun into Kenny. The last shot entered his groin area and exited through his rectum.
Oh my God.
This is leaving him laying in a pool of blood and feces with 20 bullets in him.
Sorry.
The gunman flees and Kenny is still conscious. He states, "I wouldn't close my eyes. I kept telling myself, if you close your eyes, you'll go into shock and you're dead."
Oh my God. So he's fighting to stay conscious, has God knows how many bullets in him.
20.
And 20, jeez.
Well, 20,
And
yeah.
is sort of laying, or is he on the ground again?
Yeah, he's on the ground.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Kenny said that he had an out-of-body experience. He felt as though he was watching himself being shot from 15 feet away. So he was like 15 feet away watching him being shot. Like he had this weird...
I've had that happen.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I was in a car accident when I was 16, and I was driving at the time. And we
Is
were
that
just...
what your friend broke their back?
Yes, that was that incident. No, I was driving. I wasn't going over the speed limit. I wasn't, I was 16. No alcohol, no drugs, nothing were involved. We were on our way to the store to buy eggs to make brownies. I mean, this was a very
Special
wholesome
brownies?
trip. Not even special
okay.
brownies. Regular old brownies. And it had just started to rain. And for some reason, my car went off the road. I mean, I was probably driving too fast,
Was it snowy?
No, it just started raining.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And this was in California, so the weather was warm, and I wasn't really speed. I was doing like 25 or something. But anyway, I went around a curve, went off the road, and at that point, I just sort of went out of my body, and I was like watching myself essentially drive into a tree.
Oh my gosh.
It was very strange and it's like I almost had no control. I was just completely out of myself, and then it happened, and I hit the tree and hit it pretty hard, and I just it took me a minute to even figure out what the fuck had happened, and because I was just so out of myself and just watched it happen, and then I sort of came to, and
that's crazy.
And we were out in the middle of nowhere. Oh. And within 5 minutes, an emergency vehicle drove by and stopped and saved us, called all the people we needed, and got an ambulance there. And
did you go to the hospital?
Yes, all 4 of us went to the hospital. The 2 girls in the backseat had broken their backs, and one had a lot of internal injuries. Oh, it was just...
What'd you have?
I had my biggest injury was the muscle on my...
Like whiplash?
No, it was, I had a big burn across my chest from the seatbelt, but I had, the muscle off my shoulder blade, detached. And
Ew.
it was very, it still pains me today after,
really? Well, yeah,
25 years. But it just sort of popped out, and so I had a big lump on my back for the longest time.
Really?
But that was really... That's the main injury that kind of sticks with me.
Yeah.
But nowhere near what happened to the girls in the backseat. And unfortunately, it was because they were wearing their seatbelts. If they had not been wearing their seatbelts, they probably would have been fine.
I've heard some people say they survived because they didn't have their seatbelt on. And I've heard some that did survive because, Well,
it's just because they were lap belts. It was before the days that everybody had the crossovers. And, you know, it was an old Ford. And so they were wearing their lap belts in the back, and the impact with just the lap belts or what.
Oh, interesting.
Broke their backs, unfortunately. So
they upgraded the seatbelts.
Yeah, no, they have since upgraded the seatbelts since then.
Wow.
But yeah. So I just remember it was such a weird, I was completely out of my body when we hit the tree.
I wonder if it is like an adrenaline or like a shock thing trying to... I don't know.
Maybe it was just like, I don't know what it was. It was because it's like I knew it was going to happen, and I almost did nothing to react. It was very...
That's interesting.
I just drove right into it. It was very strange.
Huh.
I did brake. Tried to.
Right. Well, yeah. You're just like,
Yeah.
Let's just go.
God.
Jesus, take the wheel. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No. So that's, that was awful. Drive safe, guys.
Drive safe. Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. The ambulance were called, thankfully, because he has neighbors, and with all those gunshots, my goodness.
Yeah.
And he went into operation, and they said his survival was unlike anything they've ever seen. The bullets missed his vital organs, and 2 of them were less than an inch away from his heart.
Oh my goodness.
He had gunshot wounds in his chest, groin, abdomen, and all of his extremities.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
But there was not one lethal injury. And he thanks God for saving him. One of the doctors that operated on Kenny says that if a gunshot victim's heart is still beating when they arrive at the hospital, there's a 95% chance of survival.
Oh, okay.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess they can sew you up and get you all put back together.
Maybe like blood transfusions or something. I mean, that's what the doctor says. So gunshots, roughly 80% of the targets on the body would not be fatal. So 80%...
Okay. You can get hit over 80% of your body, and it's not going to kill you.
Exactly. But anybody who is shot is lucky to be alive anyways.
Don't
but that's kind of good. I mean, 80%, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, well, I can't even, how that even happened where he got shot 20 times and still managed to make it out, and none of his vital organs were hit.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you got shot in the chest, point blank, 5 feet away.
So do we know why this neighbor had such a vendetta against poor Kenny here?
Yes, we'll get into that. So they said that Kenny was very lucky because the gunman did use a .22 caliber rifle, which, looking at the muzzle velocity, which is the speed of a projectile from a gun at the end of the barrel. So a .22 rifle has between 1,060 to 1,085 pounds of energy behind it.
Oh, jeez.
So that's the velocity. Okay?
So it's fast and hard.
It's fast and hard, but if it was a .30 caliber handgun, then that would be 1,200 to 1,700 muzzle velocity.
So he maybe didn't use the strongest gun.
Exactly. So it was a lower powered weapon.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to say. I was trying to be fancy, but at the end of it, it's just a lower power weapon. So he was very lucky in that part. The gunman is not named. It sounds like he...
Did he survive? Is he still on the loose?
So he's mentally ill.
Oh, no.
So I'm guessing it went to mental court, and usually they, I guess, are kind of quiet by it. I did find a tweet from 2013 where Kenny writes, "I was shot August 1995 by a man hearing voices. The man is in Nashville, Tennessee. He's free, not having to let anyone know. I was shot 21 times." He says 21 times.
So he's out and about living his life and not having to disclose the fact to his neighbors that he shot up another neighbor in the past.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not even the news. Not even... I couldn't find anything other than the guitarist and...
and that ain't him.
It's not him. And so it's just, I guess that's really sad because it sounds like he's now in his 60s. But not it sounds like he didn't get justice.
I was going to say, it didn't get the justice that he was probably hoping for.
They didn't name him the gunman, and he's free right now, so I'm guessing he didn't get that much time, or he just went into a mental hospital for a while. It's uncertain. It's not disclosed, but...
Sounds a little schizophrenic. I mean, hearing voices, it always screams schizophrenia to me.
Exactly. Especially, like, it was an old neighbor. It's just like, I don't know if they had... He didn't say they had any bad blood or anything like that.
Well, you know, with paranoid schizophrenics, there needs to be none. I mean, it's completely... So much of it is just in their head, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So. But
it sounds like, you know, well, he survived, and he was been in a few magazines talking about his story. So everything he talked about is what I just reported. And I found his tweet because that's all I could find, really. I even went on the court records in North Carolina, and I couldn't find anything. Maybe I just am a shitty researcher.
Investigator?
Be. Yeah.
God, like, Caitlin.
Like
probably. No,
it's kidding. Probably like right there, but I couldn't find anything, and I looked for a long time, and then I just gave up. So
I forget it. There's nothing.
There's nothing. I found a tweet from 2013. That's all I got. I can't say what schizophrenia feels like because I don't have it, but like they had a video of what it is like from like the camera's point of view, so it's like you, I guess. And it's weird because you hear like just like quick voices, and it's just like, it's interesting. It's scary.
Yeah, I remember we had one guy that we worked with, and he listened to the radio and felt like he came up in a very threatening way and was like, why are you guys talking about me on the radio? And it was like, we had contacted the radio station in order to have the radio station play these songs that were intended to be mean towards this guy we worked with.
Oh.
And it's like, we were just doing it all on purpose, and we were just being a bunch of assholes and trying to threaten him with all these songs. And we're like, what are you talking about? We're listening to the radio.
Yeah.
And, you know, turns out he was kind of off his medication for a little while and got a little wild.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, it was kind of scary for a little bit, because he thought we were out to harm him.
Right.
And so he got a little threatening in return. And so that was no good.
God, you had an interesting life.
It's like, not, I guess so. I got all kinds of shit to say.
Yeah, I have no stories about this.
Like,
so
bitch, if you tell another fucking story.
There's like, I saw a video. Well, my neighbor. This happened firsthand. Like, okay. All right, so my story, as it ends, he survived. Unfortunately, he didn't feel like he got the justice he deserved, but hopefully he went on and lived the rest of
happy, healthy life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he didn't die.
Yeah,
and
right?
I'm amazed he took that many bullets.
20. Can you imagine?
No, I can't even imagine.
Like, it didn't say he felt any pain, just the stings of them entering his body. So I'm guessing, like, all the other survivors, they didn't feel any pain because of the adrenaline, or from watching, from away, or... I
think you just go into some shock, and your body and your brain just does everything it can to protect you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The human body just astounds me, and the human spirit astounds me, and... It's
all amazing.
Yeah.
We're amazing.
Good job. Good job, humans.
All right, Michelle. Okay, let's get into your story now.
All right. Well, we're going to move away from humans
a
little bit. Well, kind of. That was the only way I could think of to segue.
Okay.
But this is, I guess it's probably very controversial because, was it faked? Was it not? But...
What is this?
So this is the story of a UFO sighting.
Ooh.
I know. Ooh, aliens. Okay. So this is the story of the Falcon Lake event.
Okay.
So this happened in Falcon Lake, which is in Manitoba. I hope I said that right. Now I feel
sure.
Yeah.
Sounds right. I don't know.
It's up in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So we're in Canada. This is the story of Stephen Michalak.
Okay.
And we're going back to May 20th, 1967.
Okay, we're going back.
So Stephen is an industrial mechanic and an amateur geologist. So
and he's a hobby?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a hobby. So he's out panning near the Falcon Lake.
Okay.
So he's panning for quartz and silver while he's out there.
Sounds good.
He was kind of out there minding his own business alone, and all of a sudden a gaggle of gooses or geese like starts chattering all of a sudden and sort of takes flight. So he's startled by this all of a sudden this like loud noise coming from these geese.
Okay.
And he looks up to see two hovering objects or in front of him, and they're both glowing red.
Like right in front of him?
About 150 feet away.
Oh my gosh.
And so they're I think they are over the lake, but it didn't actually really say.
So they're not up in the sky, they're actually like hovering
over it. Yeah.
Wow.
And so one takes off.
Okay.
And then the other one sort of lands closer to him.
Ooh!
So it's hovering over the ground now. And so he decides to head on over to investigate.
I mean,
what this thing is.
Did you see how big they were compared to him?
Yes. So I guess they were cigar shaped, but as it landed, it sort of morphed into more of a flying saucer shape.
Okay.
And it was 35 feet in diameter.
Wow.
So 35 feet across.
Okay.
And he started to get closer to it and got to the point where he could actually reach out and touch it.
Oh!
So,
Would you go out, reach out and touch it?
I don't know. It's like, part of me so much wants like a contact with an alien somehow, but then the thought of it terrifies me and I'd probably pass out dead.
Right.
Like, should this happen? So I guess there was a lot of lights going and it was like kind of a light show, and he thought it was some sort of military experimental craft.
Oh, so he didn't even think of aliens.
He didn't think of aliens.
Oh.
So he went up and it was all lit up and there was like all these lights going on, and then as he got closer, sort of a hatch opened and he could see it and he could hear the whirring of motors and he could hear sort of voices inside, but never actually saw anything. And so he got up close to it and he touched it, and his glove instantly melted.
What?
Yeah, so he was wearing gloves for panning. He touched it, it melted. And then at that point, it sort of tipped up and took off. So, and the force of it taking off, like, knocked Stephen way back.
Okay.
And so after that, he was like, what? That was crazy. And sort of pulled himself together and decided to head home. So he went to his motel where he was staying, and then he was feeling worse and worse. And so he decided to go home at that point. And his son recalls him coming home looking just really, really haggard.
Okay.
And he went into his room, and what he said was, when I walked into his bedroom, there was a huge stink in the room.
Oh.
It was a really horrible aroma of sulfur and burnt motors, and it was all around and coming out of his pores.
What?
It was bad. So he smelled really bad, and then he had this very strange burn on his like torso.
Okay.
So it was a grid like pattern. So it was like 25 squares essentially.
What?
Like in a square. Here, I've got a picture of it. You want to see?
Yeah. So he had a grid on his chest. Did he ever take a shower? Like, I would get that shit off of me.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe he did. Here's the picture of him. So that's the grid burn.
That's so weird.
So
it's on his stomach.
Yeah, and it ended up being like sort of raised red sores. So over the next couple days, he just gets sicker and sicker. So he's getting severe headaches, nausea, weight loss, blackouts, and diarrhea. So
oh my gosh.
Pretty much he has all the symptoms of radiation sickness.
Okay.
But he goes to the doctors, and the doctors cannot find anything wrong with him. So they can't find any radiation or anything. They can't find any reason why he has these symptoms. And eventually the burns go away, and he starts to sort of recover from what happened.
Okay.
And
did it say how long it took him to recover?
Well, it was a few months.
Oh, a few months. Wow.
And so he eventually goes back to work, and then 9 months after the incident happened, he collapses at work.
Oh.
And he goes to the doctor, and those burns are back.
Oh, they're back?
Yeah, so they had gone away and sort of healed, and now the burns are back for whatever reason.
Okay.
So his doctor refers him to the Mayo Clinic. And so he goes, and they check him out. They do all these things. And then he goes home, and he's not getting his results, He is getting bills, though, from the Mayo Clinic, which he proceeds to pay, but still no response as to what's wrong with him.
Okay.
And so he gets in touch with the Mayo Clinic, and they're like, we've never heard of you. There's no record of you. No,
what?
We never saw you. And he's like, I have all this documentation. You guys have billed me. I have my documentation from when I went. I have my documentation of, follow-ups and all this stuff. And they're like, no, we've never heard of you. And that pretty much is where it ended. He never found out what was wrong with him. The burns, I guess, occasionally come back from time to time, and no one knows anything that happened. So they went back. They had investigators go see the site of where this, supposed landing happened. Right. Because now everyone's like, yeah, right, none of this shit happened. And what they found was there was a big area that was like 15 feet in diameter that was completely devoid of any moss or small plants or any sort of vegetation. And it was highly radiated. Irradiated? I don't know how you say that.
I don't know.
I think it's irradiated. Anyway, it's got a lot of radiation coming from that point. And there was moss and vegetation growing all around it, in the sites all around it, except for there. And they found his gloves and his clothes. Because, what I forgot to say is he actually caught fire when he got pushed back by the engine. I know. He got fire and he pulled off his clothes.
That's why he had the burns.
He thinks it's from like the ship. Right. So in that was like
when he touched it.
Not when he touched it, when it took off. Oh. So when it sort of tilted and then the engines turned on or whatever, it sort of shot a blast out. And
so he caught fire, though.
Yeah, he caught fire he patted it out, pulled his clothes off, hopped in his truck, and took off.
Oh, okay.
And so they found that, and all they could figure out was that it was highly radioactive, but that was really kind of where it ended.
So there was radiation on the ground in his clothes, but no radiation
on him. Right.
That's weird.
Even though he was suffering from all the symptoms of being radiated, you know. And to this day, it's actually one of the most credible UFO sightings in Canada. But because he never wavered on his story, he has sort of the artifacts, the gloves and the clothes and things to sort of back him up. But there was never any proof of what happened.
Did they investigate the Mayo Clinic or whatever?
Well, what I think happened, of course, we were talking about the Men in Black. Yes. I think someone went behind him and sort of erased it, if you will, a little bit. But no, they claim that they've never seen him or know who he is. Or
something
anything.
had to have happened. Someone had to come to them.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way. They give all his documents. Nope.
No, sorry, you're...
Stop calling.
Yeah. No, and he paid his bills.
Yeah,
everything.
And nothing. So, he got nothing from it. Well, I mean, it sounds like they couldn't figure it out anyways. Because we don't have alien technology.
He drew a picture of it. So that's the sketch of it.
That's a flying saucer.
Yeah, it totally looks
that's the thing. Is there's so many sightings of saucers that we can't make it up, right? I don't know.
Oh, I know. Don't even get me started. I just feel like the evidence is so overwhelming at this point that they just need to tell us that they've been hiding UFOs this whole time, and yes, there's aliens.
Right.
He noted that a door was open on the side with bright lights inside, and he heard voices muffled by the sound of the craft. He said he called out, offering mechanical help to the Yankee boys if they needed it. He's in Canada. He thinks it's U.S. military technology.
Oh, I see.
The voices went quiet and did not answer, so he tried in his native Polish, then Russian, and then finally in German.
Okay.
So he was trying to communicate with them.
Okay, so I know some languages.
Yeah, he was, what was he in Poland? I want to say he was like an engineer. He's a smart guy. I mean, he definitely was not, just some whack job. He claims he went closer and noted the smooth metal of the ship with no seams. He then looked into the bright doorway, pulling on the welding goggles he used to protect his eyes while chipping at rocks during his prospecting. Inside, Stephen said he saw lights and light beams and panels of various colored flashing lights, but could not see anyone or any living thing. When he stepped away, 3 panels slid across the door opening and sealed it. He reached to touch the craft, which he said melted the fingertips of the gloves he was wearing. The craft began to turn counterclockwise, and Stephen said he noticed a panel that contained a grid of holes. Shortly afterwards, he was struck in the chest by a blast of air or gas that pushed him backwards and set his shirt and cap ablaze.
Wow.
So, and then it lifted off and flew away.
Like, that's the thing. I'd be so upset, like, if that happened and no one believed me.
Oh, I know.
Just like, I'm not crazy.
I promise. What would you do if you saw a UFO?
I probably, okay, when they say, like, fight, flight, or flee, I think I would freeze.
I will take the fourth option, please.
I
think that's probably what would happen to me.
Because that's what happened when I saw a ghost.
What?
I was... Okay.
Let's hear the whole story. Let me get my drink.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
I was 12 years old.
All right.
And I was at my grandma's house, and the lady before her died in the bedroom.
Creepy already.
So I'm doing a little paint by number on the dining table.
Adorable.
As you do. And I had a feeling that someone was watching me. Like, I had a feeling that someone was watching me. So I looked down the hallway, and there was a bathroom, and the bathroom's connected to the bedroom. So down the hall is the bathroom. And then I looked down this hallway, and in the bathroom, there's a woman standing there.
I have total goosebumps. I'm sorry.
It's an old lady. And she's standing there.
Is she just looking at you?
We're just staring at each other.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm getting goosebumps just
I
thinking
know.
about it. I just remember it so clearly. And I just stare. We're just staring at each other. And finally, she walks into the bedroom. Like, she just turns and walks to the bedroom. And then I ran the other way.
The worst, like, goosebumps all up and down my whole arms.
And that's the thing. I was just frozen. Like, I couldn't move. I was so terrified. Like, there was this lady... And then she just disappears into the bedroom.
So what did your grandma have to say?
She's like, oh yeah, that's the old lady who used to live here.
What?
Yeah, because, okay, so she always played with the curtains in the living room. And my grandma one time yelled at her because it would keep moving. And she's like, stop moving them. And it stopped.
Grandma is way braver than me. I would have burned the house to the ground and moved out of state.
No, I saw her again, I was 12, and I was walking down the hallway. No, I was washing my hands, and I was looking down the hallway, and I saw what I thought was my grandma walk into the kitchen. So I come out, and I turn into the kitchen, and she's not there. She's actually still in the living room, just
it wasn't
sitting.
Your grandma
it wasn't
at
my
all.
grandma. It was someone who was walking right by. So twice I saw this lady, and I'm like, I'm done with this. But I never saw her ever again. Like, 12 was, like, the golden age, I guess. I don't know. But I saw her twice, and it freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah. No, So did you spend the night at your grandma's house after that?
Yeah. I've always...
I was like, sorry, Grandma. Either you move, or I'm never coming to see you again.
No, I guess... Was it... I feel like my grandma said she had, like, a psychic come through, and she said that the lady left, and there was nothing...
Oh, so you didn't have anything happen after that?
So, and then they moved out of there anyways, but it was really weird. It was, that's the thing, like, my boyfriend Nicholas, I love him to death. My fiance, oh my gosh, that's right. My fiance, he doesn't believe in any of this stuff. Any of it. I think he believes in aliens, like, there has to be something else out there.
But not necessarily, like, they're hanging out on Earth.
Oh, no. He doesn't think they're on Earth chilling with us. And he doesn't think there's ghosts around either. He doesn't believe in ghosts, and it makes me so mad.
One thing I've heard is that it's not ghosts, that it's essentially the same place, but a different time. So
What?
it's like the two realities are sort of coming together. And so they're just going about their lives.
But why were we staring at each other?
Well, she was probably seeing you and like, what is this little girl ghost doing in my fucking
Doing
house?
a paint by number on the dining room table.
Yeah. No, she's got to go. This is scary as
I
shit.
have to run into the
I gotta
bedroom.
go.
Whoa.
She probably went in and told her husband that she just saw this little
And then
girl.
I ran away. So she came back and then I was
And she
gone.
were gone.
Whoa!
How crazy would that be?
That would be so crazy.
Uh.
Wow.
So that's a theory.
Unless it's a
that-
demon, right? That's a different
Fuck
thing.
demons.
Okay.
I don't actually believe in demons, but I kind of do
Really?
in they're just scary and I want no part of it. Just in
Right.
case they are real.
So you wouldn't want to do a Ouija board?
Fuck no. There's no way. No, I did one when I was little
Uh-huh.
with my friends and all that came out, like we spelled out Bloody Mary.
Uh-huh.
And I was already so terrified of Bloody Mary
Right.
that it was like I was
I'm
fucking
out.
done forever.
Okay.
No, it scared the shit out of me. And then my mom found out and kind of gave me a hard talking to that
don't
you
mess
never
with
know.
that.
There's other shit out there.
Yeah,
that-
exactly. You never know.
yeah.
You never know. We'll turn into a fun conversation.
Just wait until my Halloween one. I've got all kinds of
Oh.
stuff coming.
Okay, that's a long ways away.
I know. I almost told it today,
Oh,
but
really?
I decided to wait till.
Okay. Well, wait
It's
till
so
Halloween.
creepy. It's
Ooh,
so creepy.
okay. Well, come back in October. No, that was a good story. It's weird. It's creepy.
Well, it's just the fact that the burns sort of went away and then
Came back.
And he ended up dying in 1999. I didn't see why. So he went on to live, you know, pretty full life, it sounded like. But he never made any money from his story. I mean, it
Right.
wasn't. He did write a pamphlet, but it didn't really. He barely covered his costs or something.
Right.
And his son is actually sort of taken on the charge and has written a book about it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here's the book. When They Appeared, Falcon Lake, 1967, The Inside Story of a Close Encounter.
Okay.
By Stan Michalak and Chris Rutkowski. Sorry. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going to continue on. But
No.
yeah, the son. So
say the name of the book again.
When They Appeared.
Okay.
Falcon Lake, 1967. The Inside Story of a Close Encounter. You know what I never knew?
What?
Is that there's different levels of encounters. So, like, Close Encounter of the Third Kind, you know, that famous movie.
Okay.
It's like, what?
I don't know.
Oh, God, this is because you were born in 1991. That's why. Anyway, there's this very famous movie called Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I never really thought about it other than, you know, and it was, he just saw a spaceship in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Whereas, like, I guess, and that's what it is Close Encounters of the Third Kind is if, like, you see it within a certain area, certain, like, proximity, I think.
Okay.
And, like, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind is where you actually interact
with
the aliens or maybe abducted or something. There's a whole ranking system.
Okay.
And that's what, you know, Close Encounters of the Third Kind means. Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
Here's the Close Encounter scale.
Okay.
Close Encounters of the First Kind is an observation of a UFO within 150 yards.
Okay.
Close Encounter of the Second Kind is a UFO which leaves some sort of physical evidence, broken grass or radiation, or the finding of a material of unknown makeup. So they
Okay.
leave a little chunk of the ship behind or something like that.
All right.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a visual sighting of an occupant or entity associated with the UFO, and an analysis by Henrik, who I think is the guy who came up with this whole scale, of 650 reports found that only 1% of encounters are Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind are an abduction of an individual by an alien being or race.
Okay.
And Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, a direct contact or communication with alien being or race. So I think if they talk through you or something like that, that's considered the fifth.
I guess I wouldn't want the fourth kind then. I don't want to be abducted. Hard pass.
I don't want to be abducted.
Yeah,
that
no.
sounds super scary to me.
I mean, if I could see it like a UFO in the sky, I'd be like, oh, wow, cool. But if they're like trying to beam me up or whatever, I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
what
going to be a hard
do.
pass.
Yeah.
Thank God they wiped my memory.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
What if you found out that you were abducted?
See,
You're like, well, I believe it's happened.
Probably. It may explain some of the things about me.
No.
No.
That's silly.
I don't know. It's just very weird. It's just very weird not knowing.
I feel like we're on the verge. Like, it's going to be unveiled soon.
Yeah, right?
That's my feeling.
I hope so. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's something. I mean, there's a bunch of different galaxies out there. I mean, are we the only ones? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Ugh.
So, if you're a skeptic...
Fuck you. I mean that in the nicest way, of course.
Right?
No.
Go tell Nicholas that.
I will tell Nicholas that. I'm going to come with my talking points ready next time.
Oh, it's too funny. All right, we'll kill. Well, it was a good story. I mean, we got off on a little bit of a tangent, but that was good.
I always love talking about aliens.
I do too, like ghosts, paranormal. Gosh, we missed our niche.
I know. Switching.
We're switching podcasts now. No, Survivors. Boom. All right. Well,
it's just going to be Survivors of Paranormal from here on out.
All right. So if you like this episode, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you can look at our website, which is ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow.com. And you can actually email us if you'd like to tell us maybe your ghost story or...
It's like, bitch, you got that story all wrong. That's not how it went at all. That's what I'm always scared of.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, so...
That's because they're like, it's not even worth it.
It's not worth it, yeah.
Maybe don't put that in.
So you can email us at ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow@gmail.com. And everything is, our title's very long, so sorry about that. But...
Hashtag sorry not sorry.
Yeah. True. And then you can see our drink pictures as well. So
I do recommend trying it. If you like a Dole Whip,
yeah,
it's perfect. It's a great summer drink.
Oh, yeah.
Just sitting out on your deck in the sun or maybe out on the beach when the beaches reopen.
Yeah.
At some point.
We'll see. All right, cool. Well, then we'll see you next time.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yes, thank you. All right.
God, aliens exist.
Bye.
All right.